If you're continuously feeling tired, if you're lacking energy, if you struggle to focus, and if you feel like this is your day, every single day of the week, you have to do something about it. You have to make it your number one priority in life to recover your energy. So often in life, we feel tired, we feel depleted, and we get 30 minutes to do whatever it is that we want to do. It's only 30 minutes. And instead of using those 30 minutes to rest and to recover our energy, we choose to do something from the to-do list. But how do we do it? We do it poorly, we do it in a bad mood, and then after we finish doing it, we realize we made mistakes, we're even more tired, we're in a bad mood, so we're not even a good person to our loved ones. And the reason why we keep doing this is that we continue to prioritize doing at any cost, doing no matter how we feel, over doing from a place of being energized. We prioritize doing at all costs over recovering our energy so that we can feel good, so that we can feel enthusiastic, inspired, and energized, and with the natural motivation to feel like doing things. And this has nothing to do with motivation. It is not against discipline. So I'm not really talking about you aiming to be disciplined, but not feeling motivated and deciding to not do it because you are equating being unmotivated with being tired. This is about noticing when you are physically tired, when you are mentally tired, which is a very real state of mind. This is about really being honest with yourself on those situations where you are actually underperforming because what you need is rest. What you need is to go away for a little while, to let your thoughts, take a rest, to think about something else, whether that is through going for a walk or watching a TV show or having a nap or prioritizing a day where you do nothing. Whatever that looks like, it's really about being honest with yourself when you need that and actually giving that to yourself. If there is a week every month where you feel more tired than the other weeks, or if there is a few days in the week where you feel more tired than the other days, or if there are certain hours in the day where you feel a little bit more tired than the rest of the days, that's fine. You're a human being. It's normal. It's okay to be tired. We have a finite amount of energy. We use that energy towards doing certain things. And then when we run out of that energy, it's completely normal for us to feel tired and to be honest and to say, I'm really, really tired. I had a really tough day, or I had a really intense, demanding week. That's okay. But if you catch yourself continuously talking about how tired you are, you have a responsibility with yourself to actually create a plan for yourself to recover your energy. It's your responsibility to start to question, why am I so tired? And to also start to ask yourself, what do I need in my life? What are those little moments that make me feel more energized? What are those little activities that may even be very short, but that give you a boost in energy that you are actually not prioritizing and including in your life? And my invitation to you is to actually start very, very simple, because the idea is not for you to say, okay, in order to feel energized, I have to give my life a 180 twist and I have to change all of these things, and then I have to become this completely different person from tomorrow on. And the reason why I advise you to not do that is because it's unrealistic and you're not going to do it. And you're just going to be disappointed on yourself for thinking that you were able to do something and at the end of the day, not having been able to commit to that. So you can always aim for that as a long-term goal. You can always strive for that in the long run, but But you have to ask yourself, in order for me to get there, to get to that lifestyle, to get to that routine where I feel energized, how can I start? What's something realistic that I can do tomorrow? What's something realistic that I can do next week? And making it so small that it almost feels impossible to not do it. At the end of 2023, I caught myself being completely energetically depleted. And I made a promise to myself that during 2024, I was going to figure out how to turn that around. I was tired of being tired. I was tired of allowing external circumstances to control my energy levels. I felt completely disempowered, completely out of control, because I felt that instead of me being in control of my routine was in control of me. I just ended up repeating day after day something that was making me feel so energetically depleted at the end of every working day. And then during the weekend, I wouldn't even do anything because I just needed to recover in order to jump into another week that would energetically deplete me once more. And so I started to ask myself, okay, what can I include more of in my life to regain my energy? And so the answer to that is very specific to me. So I'm not here to tell you what to do in order to recover your energy. For me, that looked a very specific way. I can share that with you if that's something that you want me to share. But my point today is not so much on the details and on the specifics of what I did, but what I want to do now is to invite you to take responsibility for that narrative and for that reality in your life. If you feel that you are this person that is continuously saying, I'm so tired, I'm so tired, and I want to empower you to actually change that. I want to remind you that it's important that you recover your energy. And I want to highlight that it is more important for you to put up a plan to recover your energy and to get to a point where you are energized, and maybe postpone a bunch of things in your to-do list and do those when you are in an energetic state. I think it's better for you to do that than to continue to add stuff to your to-do list and do those things from a place of low energy. Because what happens is that you actually start to waste your time. It's better for you to have 3 hours of hyper focus, of good performance, of creativity, of being able to beautifully execute on an idea that you have, and to do that in 3 hours, than it is for you to spend 8 hours with brain fog, trying to do things here and there, and making mistakes in everything that you're doing, and feeling completely out of focus, and accumulating this sense of I have no clue what I'm doing, feeling laggy, feeling down, feeling low, feeling moody. Like, why would you continue to do that? Why would you prioritize having 8 hours of poor, crappy quality work over having 3 hours of high quality, good performing activity? The details of how you're going to implement this in your life, I'm not going to tell you. And I'm not here to tell you that you should swap your 8-hour working days with 3-hour working days. I'm not here to tell you that. What I'm here to do is to invite you to reflect on what's better. And I want you to reflect on the output. And I want you to reflect on your intention. And I want you to think about why you're doing what you're doing, whether that's at work or in your family or with your friendships, in your relationship. I want you to ask yourself why you're doing the things that you're doing and what's better. I want you to think about you as an energized person showing up in these situations and what you could bring if you weren't tired and depleted and if you were able to focus. And I want you to compare that to how you feel today. If you are that person that's feeling tired and who has brain fog and cannot put one and two together, and I want you to just be honest with yourself and answer, what is better? And to wrap up this conversation, there's one topic that I want to highlight, and that is that mental energy is also a thing. And that sometimes you are using your entire energy in a very wasteful way because you're thinking and rethinking things that you're actively not working on. And so you're using that energy in your supposedly rest time. You're thinking about things that you're not supposed to be thinking about in those moments. And then when it's actually time for you to actually work or do those things, you can't because you're so tired. And you're tired of thinking without actually having produced anything. And so if you are stuck in a loop where you cannot detach from certain thinking patterns, where there are certain areas or topics in your life that have a time and space to be worked on, but you keep bringing those topics into other moments of your life, and you're not even working on those, you are indeed anyways using your very valuable energy on them, but you're not producing anything. So I want to invite you to also be very cautious and meticulous with where you're putting your mental focus, because what you're thinking about continuously, that is also consuming your energy, and you want to be very careful of if that's being useful or not. Because if you're thinking about something continuously but you're not doing anything about it, that's not a smart use of your mental energy. And it's good for you to get into the habit of putting that away and telling yourself that it's okay to not think about that thing, that there will be a time and place for you to get back to that, and you will figure that out then and there, not now. So take this as your reminder or as your permission to actually prioritize in your life recovering your energy, to actually put that above doing from a place of tiredness, from a place of brain fog, from a place of I have no clue what I'm doing. Why don't you just step back, take a few minutes, go for a walk, have a nap, take a day off, and recalibrate, re-energize yourself. If you had a really intense week, take a few days, have shorter days. Find a way for you to recover your energy, because that is going to be beneficial for your results in the long run. You are actually doing yourself and everyone else, whoever is expecting those results that you're creating, those results that could be related to work or a relationship or your friendships. Those results is basically just what you create in your life and what you give to other people. They are going to benefit from you taking a rest so that you can deliver higher quality work. So don't feel guilty about it. It's actually the smart thing to do.